Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. This video should be going up on Pallytime's Life Appreciation Day. We talked about it a bit in the last video, but I hope you all are spending time with your families, cherishing the people around you, and most importantly, eating tacos. We have played all the specialists. We have played all of the warriors and all of the supports. So now it's time to move on to the assassins. And we're gonna play with everyone's favorite person to talk about these days, Illidan. Widely considered to be overpowered, and as far as I know, there's still only one valid build to play with him. So it's gonna be a lot like all the other Illidan videos, which means I'm gonna die a lot and make a fool out of myself.
My hatred is unending.
For good reason, Illidan. For good reason. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Shire map. Look at this, look at this. Oh yes. Top tier color coordination continues here on the motherfucking Pallytime channel. Hi. Some people have been saying my colors look weird since the patch. I didn't change anything. Perhaps I need to do some color correction on my monitor or something, but this is what the game gave me, so we've been rolling with this. I think I would like to solo. Tyrael, you want to go top? You want to go top, buddy? Cool. Okay, that's not top, but I'll let it slide. We are going to be getting... Okay, so this is where the variation kind of changes. Shadow Shield was bugged for the longest time. So at this level, you could kind of go with any of these except for Region Master, and it was fine. But now the standard choice, now that it's fixed, is Shadow Shield. So Illidan is considered overpowered by the wide majority of players across Heroes of the Storm. And that's because if he's played properly, if he makes all of the right decisions, and if he's not focused down and crowd controlled by the enemy team, he is insanely hard to deal with. So if you don't do all of those things, yeah, he can be a bit hard to counter. We also have an Abathur on our team, so hopefully this Abathur will be taking the attack speed upgrades and the heal on his Q. I don't remember if both of those things are actually possible. Anubarak is not going to stand much of a chance against me in lane in the early game, but as the game progresses, if he picks the right talents, this could actually be problematic for us. But as of right now, no big deal. My Q ability is dive. Every 6 seconds I can do this. My W ability is sweeping strike. Every 8 seconds I can dive forward, I can move forward or in any direction. We deal some damage as we pass through enemies, and then we get a damage boost for a few seconds. So you want to be using this basically every time it's off cooldown. While you're trading with people on Illidan, you do not want to be using your dive a lot. Your dive does less damage than your auto attacks, so you want to save your dive for when people are moving away from you. And then my E ability is evasion. With the talent we got at level 1, it's also going to be giving us a shield as well. So we're going to be dodging some auto attacks. We're going to have a little bit of a shield to soak up some damage, and it's a pretty good ability overall. We'll go ahead and move out of the way of that. My passive, Betrayer's Thirst. Basic attacks heal for 20% of the damage dealt and reduce your ability cooldowns by 1 second. So whenever we attack, we essentially have a battle momentum from level 1, overpowered battle momentum, or a powered up battle momentum, I guess I should say. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. And it's going to allow us to spam our abilities a lot more than most other players in the game can, as long as we're in combat. Looks like bot lane's having a little bit of trouble. Tyrael making his way down there. We are going to be picking up Immolation. Sweeping Strike deals area damage. This is going to allow me to jump into the middle of a minion wave and then start to cleave them all down without even hitting them. This really is where he gets a lot of his power from. He's able to duel very effectively at this level. And I do believe that Abathur got the attack speed increase. So we're going to be golden if he babysits us throughout the course of this game. A while ago, I did make a video about the Abathur-Illidan combo, and it can be absolutely stupid, especially if he gets the movement speed increases as well. But I'm focusing just on pushing back this Anubarak, not really trying to kill him, just trying to show my dominance in lane, trying to hold the minion wave. I want to be ready to go at a moment's notice to take over this Dragon Knight for the team. And as you can see, my sustain against this Anubarak is just like, he doesn't stand a chance. So let's move in here. He's going to try to contest. So now we fight him. We push him back. We try to kill him. All right, we have lost the bottom lane. It looks like top is being contested as well. I might go deep on him here in a second because it looks like my team is starting to get some map presence. Although bottom lane is still problematic, so I'm just going to keep holding the line. I'm going to make sure he knows who he's going up against. I'm going to make sure he knows that I am Illidan Storm Rage, and middle lane is where I call home. Also, the enemy team isn't trying to gank me at all, even though they have a Kerrigan. So, you know, I'm feeling pretty comfy about this. Here we go again. Going to try to contest it. He's obviously going to interrupt, and we'll just step into that. All right, here we go. Gonna have to trade with him. We're gonna dive in front of him. This is going to allow us to body block him a little bit. We're gonna push him back to his towers. I'm body blocking him yet again, and then we dive away. And someone on the friendly team came in and grabbed that. I believe it was the Gym Rainer. Good job on his part to have that map awareness and be in position to take that over. Very good job. Abathur once again giving us attack speed, so we're gonna use that to strike down this tower with some brutal force. Nazebo is going to hit us with the zombie wall, but we can dive right through the zombie wall and not take any damage whatsoever. Abathur was not watching his character well enough down in the bottom lane, and he is going to die. We are going to be picking up first aid, which is going to allow us to heal our character quite a bit. Diving in front of Kerrigan to dodge the stun. First aid is going to go out now, and we're going to sustain through that. We're going to pick up a kill and then move back to the middle lane to help. I'm going to move in from this position. They do have a lot of crowd control in their team between Anubarak and ETC, but it should be... we should be able to handle it. We should be fine. Now, I used to be a pretty terrible Illidan player. The joke was that I was the best Illidan in the world, but I will say that my Illidan is actually pretty good now. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that everyone's Illidan is pretty good now, I guess, but I feel like mine's all right. We're just gonna use our dive to get out of here. We don't have to do our sweeping strike to get out of here. We don't have to do anything special. We're just gonna casually walk away, and we're gonna be fine. Go ahead, heal with the sippy cup. Vala, however, did not notice this gigantic gank mob coming in from the bottom. And maybe I can body block for her. Coming in with some body blocks. We're going to jump. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was perfect. We body blocked to get her some space, and then we jumped to Nazebo to make our escape. Fantastic. Go ahead, attack this, get some health back. We know Anubarak's up here because we just saw this beetle come out from there. He's likely just recalling, though. There's really nothing for him to be doing over there, which is why I say that. So you need to make sure that you're always using your sweeping strike whenever you can. You're going to be hitting harder when you use it, which means you're going to be healing for more, which is pretty important. Pretty important. The temples are going to be active again in 25 seconds. Let's go ahead and take this tower down real quick. Head over to this tower as well. Never be afraid to really tank towers as Illidan with your evasion shield. You should be able to do it just fine. And remember, towers don't actually slow down your attack speed like forts do. I'm just gonna... Well, I'm dead. Okay. Let's jump this way and then dive this way. Dodge the spikes. Juke City, bitch! Juke City, bitch! Alright. We're gonna be picking up Metamorphosis. It doesn't matter which ultimate you take. Metamorphosis, widely considered to be the stronger one, however. Both of them are good. Both of them have their place. But Metamorphosis synergizes with Abathur significantly more because we basically get increased attack speed when we Metamorphosis, or increased attack damage. Which one is it? You gain 20% increased attack speed. So with the top hat of Abathur, that's only going to increase that bonus even more. So it's pretty good. We need to dodge that stun, which we do just fine. Let's go ahead and Metamorphosis right here. I missed a little bit. I thought Kerrigan was going to walk back the other way. She's likely going to re-engage here in just a moment. She did not do the combo. And unfortunately, I did get stunned, I believe, by the Kerrigan right about here. And it did lock me down. Really, stuns are so powerful against Illidan. If you take away his ability to fight, you take away his sustain as well. So that's basically how you have to kill him. Probably misplay on my part trying to duel both of them with Abathur on his thing. But hey, whatever. You learn from your mistakes and you move on. If we go ahead and take a look at siege damage, we see that I have done a lot. The most in the game. And even though I haven't been in that many fights, our hero damage is actually pretty respectable on our team. That being said, our team is pretty squishy. Tyrael widely considered to be a damage dealer in the current meta of the game, which I don't really understand. I don't feel like he does a lot of damage, personally, with the way I've built him. So middle is about to be active. Tyrael is taking down that bottom shrine, so let's go ahead and we'll just casually walk in here. Oh, no, never mind. He's being contested, so let's just go ahead and fight Anubarak. There's the stun. He's going to be disengaging now. We can re-engage. That was his main way of getting out of here, so we're just going to walk in front of him and body block for a little bit. And then we'll back out, because there's really no reason to be tanking an entire minion wave. We do have the top hat of Abathur now, which is going to allow us to follow him pretty deep into his base. But remember, that fort does lower our attack speed, so typically you don't want to fight someone under a fort. Remember, attack speed is everything to Illidan. Top looks like it's going fine. Nubrak is coming up to the top, though. Let's just harass him a little bit, force him to use his escape. That's also going to force Nazeebo back. Not that he was really pushing up too much. So at this level, you can kind of switch this one up a little bit, but generally, Giant Killer is the way to go. It increases your attack damage even more based on percentage health of the enemy you're hitting. Now, most members of the enemy team aren't too tanky, but it's going to allow me to basically incinerate the health of ETC whenever I feel like it. Jumping in here on Kerrigan, we're going to try to body block. It was successful. Anubrak did use his only means of escaping, so we're going to sit here and we're going to follow him to the ends of the earth. Once again, body blocking is going to be enough to take him down, and we're going to start to fall back. So not only do you have to worry about when to engage on Illidan, not only do you have to worry about your positioning constantly, always using your abilities on cooldown, always attacking things, you also need to be thinking about body blocking all the time. It's one of the ways that you can take your Illidan play to the next level, in my humble opinion, and it's really difficult to do. He doesn't have the biggest hitbox in the world, but it's always something that you should be thinking about. Kind of the same way I view Rhaegar. I don't think Rhaegar is a very difficult player to learn at all. I mean, all of his abilities are pretty straightforward. But the hard part of Rhaegar is learning when and where you should be body blocking, which is difficult to do. The enemy team engaging. Let's go ahead in here with the Metamorphosis. We are going to be focusing down the enemy Kerrigan as she's very low on health. Again, you can see the body block placement so strong there. She is going to get away because I am crowd controlled and the ETC ultimate. They could easily re-engage here and do a little bit of damage to me. I'm just going to start to back up. Go ahead and use first aid. And now I'm going to... Oh no, I was thinking about re-engaging. I actually dived into the maw there. They could do a lot of damage to me while I'm in here, but they choose not to. The zombie wall does go around me, but it's no big deal. And all in all, I would say we did all right in this particular engagement. Let's go ahead and start attacking this wall down. Gonna re-engage on Kerrigan here, move in front of her again for the body block, but the Tyrael ultimate will secure her death. And we're just gonna push this down like it ain't no thing. I'm gonna switch lanes actually, because they're gonna be fine here. So at this level, you can either go for blood or stone skin. I typically prefer stone skin, but blood for blood is considered, you know, the go-to talent, just because it's more offensive. It allows you to chase people down even more. So I guess we'll go for that this game. Blood for blood, what it does is you activate to steal 50% of a target's maximum health, and then also slow their movement speed for a few seconds as well. Looks like I am going to steal this fort from underneath the enemy team's nose just fine, right as the last minion dies. Beautifully done, in my humble opinion. Looks like Vala just above me is taking over this mercenary camp. She's going to be... I'm going to help her. You are not prepared! Not very good. Not a very good impression at all. We are going to be able to take down the enemy Kerrigan. Switching to Nazeebo now. Just going to jump to this side of him. He has to relocate that spirit. We're going to be just fine. Blood for blood going out on the enemy Zagara. We're going to chase her down as well. And so a lot of that was Vala and a lot of that was Abathur, but it was a decent amount of that was me playing pretty well, I think. 27,000 hero damage, 58,000 siege damage. We're 10-1, and I'm just going to take over this mercenary camp really quick as well. Just using the sweeping strike every time it is off cooldown, and I should be using evasion every time it's off cooldown as well. This allows Illidan to take camps pretty much without losing any health at all. I believe I actually heal off this particular camp. So this is going to be pushing the bottom blade. We're going to move down, help Vala take this over really quick as well. And we should be in a pretty good spot. A lot of really good teamwork in this particular game. Everyone's working together really well. It's good to see. All right. You should always kill this little guy first because he has the lowest amount of health. But, I mean, we killed it all so quickly, I guess it really doesn't matter. Shrines are going to be active in 6 seconds, so I'm going to get this wall out of the way. Now, you can use this. You can use walls to jump to as you're making an escape on Illidan, so some people will argue that it's better to keep those there. I'm just trying to limit the amount of vision that the enemy team has. I want to make sure that they have none. And this is a massive push down in the bottom lane. I'm just going to stick with this. I don't care what's going on. The enemy team is going to be focused on me here. Metamorphosis under the ground. We're going to switch to Nazebo here, trying to deal as much damage to him as we can. I'm going to jump over the wall to try to get away. Ball is spinning and winning at the top of the screen, still dealing a ton of damage. We are now going in deep on Nazebo, and we're going to take him down as well. Let's push into these towers now. We have a giant minion wave with us. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about this. The Dragon Knight now in the middle lane as well. This is going to be devastation to the enemy team. They're not going to be able to come back from this. This is just too much. One fort dies in the bottom lane. The middle fort soon to follow, I'm sure. Let's go ahead for some body blocks here. I'm a little overextended. We're going to dodge the Kerrigan combo. Uther coming in with a great stun. And then once again, while she was stunned, I wasn't worried about attacking her. I was worried about moving around her and positioning in the way of Kerrigan so she could not run away. So strong. Illidan is so strong right now, and he was not nerfed in the last patch. But it's corny to say, but with great strength comes great responsibility. You have to be able to judge when it's time to go into a team fight. You have to be able to judge when it's time to get out of a team fight. You have to be able to position. You have to be able to know when the enemy team has used all of their stuns and it's safe for you to stay. It's so much to think about. It'll come with practice, but unfortunately, this, with very, very, very tiny variations, is the only build, oh, we can't look at my talents, is the only build that's viable on Illidan. So once again, those talents are at level 1, evasion, shield. You could go with Seasoned Marksman, but the problem with Seasoned Marksman is you're going to be sitting in a lane nonstop, and you're not going to be helping. You could also go with Battered Assault. It's a decent alternative to Shadow Shield, but the problem is this is where a lot of your survivability comes from. You are going to be hitting harder with Battered Assault, and this was the talent everyone was picking while Shadow Shield is bugged, but that's no longer the case. At the next level range, you always go for Immolation to get the extra damage out. At the next level range, you always go for First Aid for that extra healing. You can pick whichever ultimate you would like, but Metamorphosis is widely considered to be the stronger one. The Hunt does have its place if you have to interrupt key targets like a Nazebo or a Lili, but Metamorphosis is usually the better choice. Giant Killer, pretty much the standard at this level, or Sixth Sense to reduce ability damage to you. And then Blood for Blood or Stone Shield. At the max level range, there's honestly a lot of flexibility here. If you take the Hunt, you pretty much always have to get global range, otherwise you're nerfing the Hunt. But Nexus Blades is a phenomenal talent. Basic attacks deal 20% more damage and slow the target for 1 second. Keep in mind, our healing scales off of basic attack damage, so increasing our damage by 20% is huge. And to go back to Seasoned Marksman, you would be increasing your attack damage even more, assuming those two scale together. But again, with Seasoned Marksman, you're not going to be in as many fights, and you're not going to be doing what you should be doing as Illidan. And then Bolt of the Storm is just phenomenal for chasing players down or surviving through situations where you wouldn't otherwise. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It wasn't very long. We won that game pretty quick. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to be spending time with people I care about. I'm going to be eating tacos, and I encourage you all to do the same thing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.